Hey guys, I'm Toby, some random middle-aged YouTuber that you've probably never heard of. But regardless of that, in this video I wanted to share my personal thoughts why I think that tower in specifically Jebus Outcast template, specifically this version of it, which is 2.69H. Specifically in this template, tower is extremely underestimated, underappreciated. Now I've been watching a bunch of streamers, I've been, playing the game myself, and based on like how people bid to not play faction, to not play tower, how streamers refer to tower, I just got the under impression that it's kind of a bottom tier faction. So I've been spamming a lot of it lately, just versus AI mostly, because people just ban tower and you don't get to play it. And what I found to be the case is that I would go as far as saying that tower is the most consistent faction of them all. There are a few reasons why I believe so, but it has a lot to do with kind of like being similar to Castle even. And we all know that Castle is the above all faction currently. It's an absolute S tier, primarily due to stables. Like you get, 2,000 moves guaranteed starting on week 2, compared to most of their factions which are stuck with like 1,500 moves. So, a third more moves every single turn. You just do so much more. And Tower kind of has the same thing going for it, just in a different manner. So let's start up a random tower game, and I'll go through the main few reasons why I think tower is so incredibly consistent in every single game that you play. There are a few reasons. The primary reason is the build path that you take on day 1 and day 2. So on day 2, on day 1 in your side town, you always build Lookout Tower. This is the best building you can go for. By a mile, you always build it. On day 1 in your main, you usually build Workshop, but for the sake of showcasing, I'll just jump straight into, let's just do that. I'm gonna upgrade, this is your build path on day 1, upgraded Gremlins plus Lookout Tower. On day 2, you always build the second Lookout Tower. So this is what we see on day 2. Show me another faction, Stronghold with Shiva, with expert scouting, doesn't see half as much as you see as Tower. You have close to perfect information of your biome on day 2. And this allows you to make incredibly good decisions throughout the entire game in your biome. You don't waste time going to places where there's nothing. Like, for example, next to my side town, there is currently absolutely nothing that I need or can do. Like, absolutely nothing. In fact, my side town is looking so shitty that I will never go to it. I will not waste a single movement point going to my side town. I might take it back, like there's Utopia, and this is a really good box. This is potentially Master Genius. So I might go there, but not until Utopia is relevant. So I'm not wasting any movement points, and I will always know what I'm doing most of the time for full 2 weeks. I can plan out my entire journey based on where I can find some starting boxes, and I will always have a consistently good week 1 just because I'm able to pick up, a starting box. Like, for example, here. There we go. We found our starting box. If not for Lookout Tower, not a single other faction would ever find this box. And there's a chance that there's not a single other starting box in this entire biome. But because we're Tower, we were able to find it. So you always have a good start. Every single game you will have it. The second reason why Tower is so good is because of Master Genies. And I've tried building a power stack of Nagas. That did not work out. The build path is just... building genies is a pain. You need crystals and diamonds and, ore and wood. Building Nagas is even worse because you need everything. I tried going for giants as well. Like, it feels really good to have titans, like fucking titans, dude. But the build path is fucking atrocious. You will never be able to, 1 out of 50 games you might be able to build giants dwelling in your main on week 1. So even despite, like, look at this, I have Cloud Temple pretty conveniently placed. I'm still not going for Titans ever. I'm not going for Giants, I'm not going for Titans. Every single game with Tower, I will go for Genies and nothing else. The reason for that is a couple. First, Genie Lamps. They are absolutely amazing. Let's see if we can find any, actually. So I don't see anywhere. Okay, so we don't see. Oh, we see one. We see one here. Genie lamps, they alone are typically guarded by tier 1 creature. So you can treat them as a starting box, but instead of getting, 100 gremlins, you will get, like, on average 5-6 master genies. Because of the pretty much perfect information that you're able to have about your biome due to double lookout towers, you will be able to find those lamps and you will be able to pick them up week 1. That means you're already building your power stack on week 1. You only need to pick up a single of those lamps to then to be able to do the Altar of Wishes, further increasing your genie count. So again, not only you are able to every single game build a genie power stack because of lamps, but you're also able to have consistent start because of genies. Because now you have, like, 2 alternatives. Like every other faction, the way it starts week 1, the way it starts the ball rolling is they pick up an early box, guarded by tier 1 or tier 2 lots of creatures. And they pick up the, tier 1 or tier 2 box and they start rolling. But as Tower, you don't necessarily need a box. You can start off a lamp. Once you have those, Altar of Wishes are usually, abundant. There's several of them, but you don't need that many of them, because here's where another thing comes in. And again, kind of going back to the lookout towers, because you have this perfect information, you're not able to not waste any movement where you don't need. You are not only able to have consistent week 1 by picking up the boxes, but further along the road, you are able to pick the big boxes that you want. Because you have so much information, you don't need to, hope to find Master Genie boxes. You can just spot them on the map. So for example, 20 to 49 Greater Basilisks, this is pretty much guaranteed Master Genie box. 5 to 9 Behees, this is pretty much a guaranteed Master Genie box. Let's look somewhere else. This is not a Master Genie. This could be a Master Genie box. So now, if we want to increase our power stack, we know exactly where to go. And just to kind of showcase this, and we see the one, let's just quickly go here. Master Genies. Now, the Behees that I was referring to, Master Genies. We have a reliable way of finding those Master Genie boxes. And it's going to be, a pretty solid power stack. Now, probably the last thing about the tower that kind of makes it so incredibly consistent is that you actually have Mysticism. Now, I know this spell really sucks. It's not something you want to have late game, but early and mid game, it is actually incredibly good. If you get something like Bless in your mage guild, or even just for spamming magic arrows, you will have a consistent extra source of damage to be able to take early fights in a bit, just to help you out in those early fights. So you will always be able to do those fights, like slightly tougher fights than some other factions would get. You're not Alkin, who starts with armor and offense. You do start with offense, plus you have extra damage from those. Bless in many cases is going to be better. A bless in every single fight, and might be better than having like expert armor, even, like, depending on the fight. So with all those things combined, we're still not looking at S tier faction, something like Castle, which is just like everything is good about Castle. The boxes are good. Pigeons are kind of meh. Marksmen are not great in Utopia, but in general, when you get pikeman box, you're happy. When you get marksman, you're happy. When you get crusaders, you're like stoked. When you get zealots, it is crazy how good they are. You get the stables, the strong hero starting with offense, and then even leadership. The specialty is good for crusaders. Everything about castle is good. For tower, not everything is good, but you will always have it. I think the hero levels up into decent secondary skills. Your boxes are kind of not that bad actually. Compared to Necro, for example, I'd rather take the tower boxes. Compared to maybe even Stronghold, I would rather have these boxes. Because your tier 2 creatures, they're actually reasonably tanky. Health 16 compared to like, I don't know, health 10 of those Stronghold Wolf Riders. Your tier 3 creatures are absolute premium for Utopias. Like, you want to be protecting your Master Genie stack. These guys will do it. Like, they just don't die. I mean, they're just nuts. Magi are the weakling. And it is kind of easy to confuse them with genie boxes. So this is the really bad box. Obviously, the genie boxes are amazing, and gremlins are like solid early game as well. You can always, once you pick up the lamp, you can just, I'm just gonna delete those angels real quick. You can always just split up your master genies and buff up your gremlin stack. That is a solid, week 1, week 2 even strategy. So all the boxes are like decent. They're not as amazing, but they are like decent. They're good boxes. You're happy when you find golems, you're happy when you find genies, you're happy when you find gargoyles, probably. They're decently tanky for Utopias. So the boxes aren't that bad. And yeah, like with all of these things combined, what you end up with is 1-3-1. You are very consistently, pretty much every single game, 1-3-1, you will be able to go and do Utopias. And then potentially break on the same week, or like 1-4-1 at the latest. So let me just, show you, let's just try another map. Maybe this is not as consistent as I'm claiming, but let's just do this. Let's go straight to day 2, like presume this is day 2, and we have both lookout towers built. And we have all this information. So let's look at this. This is a Master Genie box. So we already have plus 15 Master Genies eventually. We also see Tome of Air Magic. If you're any other faction, like, good luck finding the Tome of Air Magic here. Maybe if you would go towards the bunker, you would find it. But now we know. And we're not going to waste our movement points going here until we're ready to pick up this fight. We also find a Genie Lamp, Ancient Lamp. So we can pick it up like even on day 1, I think, right? Yeah, day 1 Genie Lamp. Day 1, 5, on average 5 Master Genies. This is a power stack. We can then pick up more gremlins, upgrade them all. We'll have like, how many gremlins? 16, 32. We'll have 70 Master Gremlins, backs up by 5 Master Genies, 1 stacks, buffing them up. That's a lot. This is a Master Genie box. So again, late game, like week 3, we'll be able to pick up 2 boxes of Master Genies. What else? Now this is probably Magi box. This could be Master Genie box if there's nothing else being guarded. So yeah, like again, we see another Genie Lamp that is easy to pick up. We see where we go for wood. We can plan out our entire week. Like day 1, we pick up this. Then we pick up this. So day 1, pick up wood. Day 2, pick up this. Day 3, maybe backpedal into here, pick up this. On day 4, with like 10 Master Genies, we should be able to do this for a box plus another lamp. Then we should be able to do this and then come back here, for example. So that's like entire week planned out. We picked up the resources, wood here or here. We picked up a box plus 10 Master Genies, plus 15 like Master Genies. Like, this is a power stack. As far as resources go, yeah, we might not be able to build Master Genies in the main, but if we picked up this crystals, in week 1, plus trade up some pots which you generate here for the diamonds, we should be able to build a dwelling for even more genies in your main. So that's it, like week 1 is planned out. And then comes week 2, we can then pick up 15 master genies here. We can pick up 15 more. We have 30, 40, 45 master genies, like 1, 2, 4 or something, 1, 2, 3 maybe. Then we can go for air tome. We will pick it up. We can maybe flag this dwelling, or maybe those two, or maybe first pick this up, then DD, flag this. We suddenly have, over 40 master genies with half of the control. We can then maybe DD here, another master genie box. And like 1-3-1, we're just gonna be all set up for, doing utopias. Like let's do another example real quick. And then I'll just show you some probably like save files of the games I was actually able to play. So again, let's just jump straight into, well, in this case, we have Redwood Observatory, but let's assume it's not there. Like Redwood Observatory on day 1, by the way, is absolutely premium. So yeah, we go here. On week 1, what can we see? So far, no starting boxes at the bottom. This genie lamp, oh, this is goose, not genie lamp, lol. Okay, we see one lamp that is protected by 20 to 49 halberdiers. So we could, with our hero, go do this, pick up the lamp. With the lamp, we'd be able to flag the dwelling, then maybe pick up another lamp. This is not ideal, but we could do it. At the worst case scenario, we have something to start off. Probably not good enough, so we continue searching. We find this, which is like close to doable. You just need a bit of something to be able to do this. Honestly, with some kiting and a range stack, you probably are able to do this. 20 to 49 is not that many. This lamp is unfortunately overprotected. This is potentially a Master Genie box, one of those. We see pretty convenient Library of Enlightenment. This is a Master Genie box guaranteed. This is probably a Master Genie box as well. And yeah, so at the very least, we do have something to start off, as sub-ideal as it is, going down all the way here. We can flag the dwelling and get some Master Genies. We do see how to reinforce our power stack later on with this box, that's 30 Master Genies, potentially 45 with this box. So yeah, like again, we're setting up for a solid game. It sucks that our relic in the biome is like a goose, which is kind of pointless for you when you're not really building that much army, but so be it, at least we see it. So yeah, like we are able to have a pretty consistent game. And just to kind of show you like the games that I've been able to do, let's just go into some earlier games that I played today, like for example this, and like let's just see 1-3-1. So 1-3-1 typically is the benchmark when you want to, like 1-3-1, you pick up your army and you do both utopias and then you go break. You break, either like 1-3-5 or maybe 1-4-1, somewhere around there. So 1-3-1, in this case, I have a stack of 36 Master Genies. I have 28 Golems for solid meat. I have 50 Gargoyles for solid meat. I will pick up this artifact for 13 attack and 7 defense. I have a bunch of other artifacts that I was able to find. -3 to enemy luck is going to help me a lot in Utopia. Plus speed is actually going to help me in Utopia as well, just to outspeed the dragons. So that is pretty nice. Like 1-3-1, we're set up to do Utopias. Let's take a look at another game. I think I played like 3 games earlier today. So this was 1440, 1329. So 1-3-1, another game. We have a power stack of 62 genies. We have 9, 9, 16 free stats. We just did Utopia already. Wait, do we have... Oh, yeah, we have this. We picked up a control scroll in this game. I was able to scout out a control scroll. So again, like if there's a control scroll in your biome, most likely on day 2 you will find it, where it is. So yeah, 62, Utopia done, 1-3-1, decent stats, control scroll, Tome of Earth Magic from the Utopia, like it's looking pretty solid. Another game, and this is just gonna be the last example, I think. So show this one, 131. So 131, we have some stats. We have 26 Master Genies. We're going, I think, to the main, pick up 7 more Master Genies. So we'll have 33 Master Genies, over 30, that's enough to do Utopia. We have a bunch of meat, 42 Iron Golems, plus 14 more. So that's 56 of these golems is an amazing meat shield for Utopia. Like, this is probably enough to tank the entire Utopia. 56 of these plus 30 something Master Genies is enough to do like tier 2, tier 1 Utopias easily. I do have some might stats. My hero is developing nicely. I have air magic and earth, so with earth I'll be able to cast shield. Yeah, I'll be able to do Utopia. And like all of the games that I've been playing recently with the tower, where I don't go for titans, I never bother with titans, where I never bother for nagas, where I just rush lookout towers ASAP, have been incredibly consistent. Like every single game like of those was 1-3-1. I am either setting up for Utopias, like heading straight to Utopias, or I've already done them. I always have a reasonable power stack of genies. I always have decent stats. If there's a relic, I know about it. If there's a control scroll, I know about it. It's just, like, it's good faction. It's a really good faction. So yeah, that was the point that I was trying to prove. That was the point that I was trying to make. Feel free to disagree. I'm only like a 400 rating player, so you know I'm not know-it-all kind of guy. I might be wrong about something, I might not. That's my personal take. So yeah, I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. I guess see you in streams maybe. Fuck knows. Toodles.